Hey everyone, welcome to the Chlorine King Pool Service Show podcast. My name is Erik and I'm the owner of Chlorine King Pool Service here in Seminole, Florida. I'm super excited to have you guys here listening and tuning in. This first episode is mainly going to be just a small introduction to myself and my company and why I got in the pool business. And every episode here on out is going to have a guest of some sort, me interviewing, get some information from them, whether it be a friend or a manufacturer of a pool product. So tune in for the future episodes as well. It'll be really worth it. So I wanted to start this podcast mainly as for you guys, for my listeners. I want to be able to create a strong resource for you guys. I'll be doing that in several ways. I'll be answering emails that you guys send in to me on my website weekly, and also if I get questions from my clients on my route, I'll actually save those for the show and basically pose those questions and answer them for you guys, so you learn a little bit about pools and hopefully make your guys' life as a pool owner a little easier. I'll also be trying to showcase the industry and bring good info to you guys by interviewing my friends that own pool businesses in different parts of the country to see what their what the trials and tribulations of their business is, along with some manufacturers of pool products to bring you up to date and see if they got anything in the works that'll make your life as owning a pool easier. And lastly, I just really want to share my excitement for the pool service industry with you guys. I think it's a wonderful industry to be in. I really enjoy getting up and going to work every day. I mean, you get to work outside, you get to see beautiful pools, you get to breathe fresh air, you got to meet great people. I mean, really, what else could you possibly want out of a job? So a little bit about me. I'm 33 years old. I live in Seminole, Florida, and I truly am blessed to do what I do every single day. I really love waking up and going and working on pools. That may sound funny to you guys, but you never really know what you're going to walk into, who you're going to come across. It just really is a fascinating job, and it's definitely not mundane by any sense of the word. I really enjoy it. I've been around water my entire life. When I was a little kid, I was always around water, and as I started getting older, guess who started having to take care of their pool for part of their weekly chores? Yep, this guy. Getting into the pool business wasn't too much of a shocker or a huge adjustment because I've been doing it for so long. So back in 2008, I graduated college. I double majored in business marketing and business management, and just really enjoyed my time at college. And then afterwards, I started doing the 9 to 5. I had a couple jobs here and there. And for the last 5 years, I've worked at a jewelry store, Gessner Estate Jewelry, here in Tampa, Florida. So if you guys need any type of antique engagement ring, give them a shout and let them know that I sent you. And I actually still work there. I work there on Sundays, even to this day. So I really love that job. I really love the people. They're like a second family to me. And to get back to the pool stuff, I've always been a tinkerer by nature. I've always enjoyed taking stuff apart, fixing it, putting it back together. And I've really enjoyed helping people. I know I'm not curing cancer or finding the latest cure to the worst disease out there, but if I'm making someone's weekend enjoyable, it's well worth it to me, all the effort and work it takes to do that. So I bet you guys are wondering, how did I get started in this industry? Why did I choose pool service as a career? Well, I'll tell you what, it certainly wasn't a dream of mine, and to be honest, it was on a whim. While I was working in the jewelry store, I was learning to be more financially savvy and reading up on how to save for retirement. I'm a big advocate of Dave Ramsey, and so trying to pay off debt and all that good stuff. And the more I was reading, the more I found that they say wealthy people have 3 sources of income. So with my one source of income at the jewelry store, I was thinking, how could I get more? Or how could I create another source of income? And I was talking to my best friend Jeremy, because we were always running ideas back and forth with each other. Hey, maybe we should do this. Maybe we should do that. And one day he finally said, you should get in a pool service. And I was thinking to myself, there's no way. There's no money in that. It's not a glamorized job by any means. You see people out there that look like they're not doing too well. Their trucks are all rusted out. I was thinking, why would I feel like I'd be spinning my wheels. And so one day he took me out and showed me the ropes. And before I even found out what he was making, I really enjoyed the process and coming up to the pool each day and realizing that every day is different. It's never the same. It's not like sitting at a cubicle all day. So I really fell in love with that. And then once I found out that, what he was making, it was sort of like a no-brainer for me. And even at that point, I just wanted it as a part-time thing for the jewelry store. I really never intended on replacing my job with pool service, but eventually it grew a mind of its own and grew out of control, and that's sort of how I was birthed into the pool service industry. So now that you know a little bit about me personally, why don't we talk about my business and what direction I want to see ahead in? It's all exciting stuff. So I manage 70 to 75 pools a week. I feel like that's a great number to have because it keeps me busy, but I feel once you get over 75 pools, you're going to start at some point, sacrificing quality, just because 15 pools a day is a lot of work. And, that's if everything's good. If you have algae issues in some pools, if you have phosphates from bad weather, a lot of debris in the pool, if you have equipment issues, you got filters not working properly, you got leaky pipes or whatever the case may be, or a pump that's starting to burn out, that's going to tie your visit up even longer. So I feel like if you're pushing 20, 25 pools a day, you're really not giving the customer the best quality service that you should be as a paying customer. So that's the number I like to stay at. I'm a certified pool and spa contractor here in Florida, so I can handle any type of equipment installations, equipment repairs. Technically, I could even resurface pools, but my best friend does that, so I just give it to him. It's not a big deal. We're constantly giving business back and forth, which is awesome. And to sidestep real quick, that's one thing I love about this industry. Everybody I've come across is super helpful. It's not cutthroat because the bottom line is there's so many pools, you're never going to run short of business. I mean, in fact, in Pinellas County, there's 70,000 pools. You're telling me that everyone that wants to start pool business can't get 100 pools? I mean, that's not even a percentage point, So to get back where I was going, though, one thing I do see with the industry, there's a major void, is professionalism and quality service. Like I said before, everyone's trying to generate revenue as quickly as possible, and so they'll take on 20, 25, 30 pools a day. Before you know it, they're starting to lack on quality, and then the customers get upset and everything like that. So I'm a big advocate of quality. I'll spend time in your pool and make sure it's done right. And we call them splash and dash in the industry, where they're literally there for 4 minutes, they dump some chemical and they leave. They don't even brush your pool, they don't vacuum it, they don't do anything. It looks like they haven't even been there. That's the one thing that I really want to set out to change in the industry. I also wanted to bring the industry more in the limelight, make it look more professional, because, to be honest, there's just a lot of people that just don't look professional. I mean, their trucks are just a wreck. I understand they're work trucks, but you still have to create a good presence for the public, because I believe that's one reason that kids don't want to grow up and be pool service guys. I didn't want to be, and that has a lot to do with how, the industry professionals are projecting themselves to the public. So I feel like if I do things the right way, it's going to attract more people to the industry. I mean, my vehicles are wrapped. I always have a uniform on. I use high-end equipment. It takes a lot to do it right, and that's what I'm here for. And as far as attracting people to the industry, I've brought several of my friends in the industry, and I've actually helped start their business. In fact, there's 3 friends I can think of off the top of my head right now that I showed them the pool business and actually got them started, and they're actually really successful. 2 of them are anyways. The one is still in the starting phase, but I'm going to be there right there with him, and I'm going to do everything I can to help him, because you know what? Like I said, there's just so much food out there, aka pools. There's no need to be greedy. And so, in fact, I've created a lot of good relationships with people, throwing work back and forth. I got a real good friend, Robbie, which he'll be on the podcast in the future. He constantly does work for me, and I constantly take care of him, So it's like that with a lot of people. My best friend, Jeremy, he builds pools. I service them. I give him my resurfacing jobs, and he gives me accounts, once he builds pools or resurfaces them. So, it's a really cool industry to be in. As far as my business, right now I plan on staying small. I got a little bit of personal debt left I want to pay off, but after that, I plan on growing the business, to the point of where I can not be so involved. If I want to take a vacation or a couple days off, I can do that and really let the true entity of the business be a business and let it run itself. and not be an owner operator as much as I am now, because right now if I don't go out and do the pools, I don't get paid, that type of stuff. So that's a little bit about my business. Oh, another great thing too, as a potential client, is the one of the major things that people have told me, when I go out on estimates and stuff like that, is the fact that they don't know if their company's even been there. There's no door tag or anything like that. So what I've done is I invested in some pool servicing software, which is awesome. And after every single visit, every customer, every week gets a full report emailed to them after every visit with the full, all the readings I took that day, all the services I performed to your pool, and lastly, a timestamp photo of your pool. So A, I was there, and B, you get to see your pool. So, that entire report is a huge selling point, and it just goes back to the professionalism. It's a good way to show that you're a professional company and really want to keep the homeowner in tune with what's going on with their pool, because I feel like you shouldn't have to, as a homeowner or a customer of mine, have to go out and search and find out what's going on with your pool. You deserve that information given to you every single week. So that's what I've set out to do. My customers love the reports, because they're kept up to date with their pool. It's a large investment. You need to make sure it's being taken care of right, and that's what Chlorine King is here for, to make sure that your pool's taken care of and you know what's going on with it. Well, everyone, that's it for this episode. I want to say thank you so much for tuning in and taking a few moments out of your day to listen to my podcast. Hopefully, you guys learned a little bit about me personally, and also my company. I'm a very approachable person, so if you see me out on the street, during my route, don't hesitate to come up and say hi, give me a high five, a hug, whatever. If you need a pool question answered, I'll be happy to help. If you want a question answered in the future on a podcast, don't hesitate to email me. You can do that by visiting my website at 𝐶hlorinekingpools.com. Just go to the Contact Us page and fill out the form and title it Podcast, and just ask whatever question you need answered, and I'll do my best to get that question answered for you on a future episode. So tune in next week. I got a great friend of mine. His name's Joel. He owns JD Pool Clean out in Port St. Lucie, Florida. He's been a huge inspiration, a huge help to me in my growing pains as owning the business, and we're going to talk about equipment sizing. It's very important to make sure your pool stays running properly when it's built, and when you replace equipment, to make sure that the equipment is sized properly for your pool. So he'll provide some insights, some tips, and basically some ideas to make sure that you guys get the right equipment put in. So have a great night, everyone, and tune in next week.